But at this point, we have to consider the second of our three ideas. Even if different forms of government were, and still are, direct causes of prosperity and poverty, life and death, how far are we able to influence the regimes that govern us? Or are we just links in a chain, themselves governed by deeper causes over which we have no control? And if so, what is the point of political philosophy, whose avowed purposes it is to help us choose the best form of government? The fatalistic view that we have no real political choices to make has appeared in different forms at different times in history. In the period when Lorenzetti was painting his frescoes, many believed that history moved in cycles. Good government could endure, but would inevitably become corrupted with the passage of time, collapse into tyranny, and only through slow stages be brought back to its best form. In other periods, most notably the 19th century, the prevailing belief was the idea of historical progress. History moved in a straight line from primitive barbarism to the higher stages of civilization. But once again, this implied that the way societies were governed depended on social causes that were not amenable to human control. The most influential version of this was Marxism, which held that the development of social society depended ultimately on the way in which people produced material goods, the technology they used, and the economic system they adopted. Politics became part of the superstructure. It was geared to the needs of the prevailing form of production. So according to Marx, in capitalist societies, the state had to serve the interests of the capitalist class. In socialist societies, it would serve the interests of the workers, and eventually under communism, it would disappear completely. In this light, speculation about the best form of government becomes pointless. History will solve the problem for us. Yeah, I think there has been a certain fatalistic viewpoint in the United Kingdom, and my videos on British politics have sort of been highlighting that as well, in that we are sort of, we will very often go along with things even if they don't best serve us, as just best not to rock the boat. And that fatalistic mindset has definitely been a part of British politics, at least from the point of the electorate, for quite a while, I suppose. Previous generations, up until maybe the 70s, trusted their politicians to do what was perceivably the best thing for the country, even though they were obviously stabbed in the back on many occasions. And there certainly is a case where both these are right at the same time, where there is a trend of going from barbarism to civilization. But there is also a cycle as well, in which it appears empires inevitably fall, superseded by new empires, and cycles within that do appear to be an observable phenomenon. But there is still the argument for society gradually increasing the prosperity of the citizens that it seeks to serve. And there's been negatives and positives from that, I suppose. I mean, through the Enlightenment, the human lifespan doubled, but people became less religious. And I would argue, some of this lack of religiousness or religiosity is kind of why we got into this problem with culture in the UK in the first place, because our own culture is sort of seen as being problematic or unjustifiable. People feel ashamed of it, unless it's sort of dwindled to a point now where you're seeing a sort of rapid re-emergence. I kind of do feel now there will be a need for, in the United Kingdom, for people to become more aware of political philosophy. I think people have, for quite a while, just remained sort of ignorant because they could, I suppose. Prosperity was usually quite good in the UK. So that fatalistic mindset set in where it was just like, all the politicians are the same, forget them anyway, etc. But now it's reached a point where we can't ignore them. We have to sort of tackle their backstabbing, and that's not in a violent way. As I've said in other videos of mine, there should be no civil war in the United Kingdom, but it does seem like the government and the police are preparing for such an occasion. But we can all hope that that doesn't occur. Certainly, my preferred option for things to be rectified, and we can keep our country nice. about descending into some kind of balkanized state. That will definitely not be what's best for everybody, really. But we shall have to see what happens. And sorry for those who aren't British watching my political philosophy videos. Um, I am British. I've seen this through the lens of my country at the minute because we're in so much trouble. And obviously you can transfix this onto, or transpose this onto your politics. I'll leave this one here, link in the description for what I'm reading from, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo.